Okay, good evening, Tuckahoe. It is 7:30, Wednesday, July 8th, 2015. We are here for the Village of Tuckahoe Zoning Board of Appeals. First thing I'd like to do is the Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone will stand, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you very much. All right, so the next thing I want to do is, Nancy, please call the roll.
Member Ringwald?
Present.
Member Palladino?
Present.
Member Barondez?
Present.
Chairman Gallo?
Present. I'd like to note the absence of Member Scalzo, whose grandmother passed away. We give him all the condolences, and he was not able to make it, and it's completely understandable. Okay, we have two sets of minutes because of last month's meetings, so I have I'm going to make a motion to approve the minutes of June 3rd. Has anyone, before I make that motion, has everyone reviewed it? The June 3rd, have any changes?
Nope.
Hearing none, I'm going to make a motion to approve the minutes of June 3rd, 2015. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have to abstain. I wasn't present.
Okay, great. So the next motion, we have the minutes of the June 10th meeting, 2015. Has everyone reviewed them? Does anyone have any changes, alterations?
Nope.
No.
Hearing none, I'm going to make a motion to approve the minutes of June 10th, 2015. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so both minutes are approved. All right, so tonight we have 50 Columbus is adjourned, and 10 Fisher is also adjourned. So tonight we have in front of us 135 Park Avenue, legalize existing deck. Please come to the microphone.
Good evening. I'm Maggie Moreau, the architect for Mr. and Mrs. McCauley. They would like to legalize an existing deck that was built, we think, in 1992. They moved into the house in 2005, and the deck was there. It's a pool deck, and it's completely surrounded by shrubs and not visible from any of the property next door, behind, or from the street. The deck is 8.9 feet from the property line on the side, and 15 feet is required, and 27.7 feet at its closest point in the rear, and 30 feet is required. The deck is at the highest point, is about 18 inches off the ground. It's very low. It's part of the pool surround, and the neighbors are. I gave a letter earlier that the neighbors really like the deck. They like the whole surroundings. They actually can't see it, so it's never been an issue with anyone in the neighborhood. So it's not a detriment to any of the neighbors, and it's something that the owners have enjoyed for many years, but never realizing it was not legal. There's only a portion of the property in Tuckahoe, and it happens to be the other side is Bronxville, and the part of the deck that's not too close to the property line is in the Tuckahoe side.
So the majority is in Bronxville, is that what you're saying?
The majority of the property.
Of the property, okay.
It's probably only about a sixth of the property is in Tuckahoe.
I see, okay, great. Is there any questions for the applicant from the board?
No.
Okay, great. You can take a seat. What we're going to do, the building department, has all the mailings been properly? Yes. Okay, so all the mailings have been properly sent out. So I'm going to make a motion to open the public hearing on 135 Park Avenue. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so public hearing is now open on the 135 Park Avenue legalization of an existing deck. Is there anyone from the public that would like to come up and speak? Okay, seeing none, I will make a motion to close the public hearing on 135 Park Avenue. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, is there any questions, any additional things? I mean, we did look at numerous photographs, and we were very, if I can speak for the board, we're very impressed by the layout of the deck, which was done before, and the blockage that was clearly put in, which is something that I think that this board has shown in any variances for something like this. Obviously, we've gone through this before in the past about the difficult configurations of the various lots and restrictions that the village has, which makes an inordinate amount of properties like this that may require some variances. And as we've gone on site visits in the past, and clearly from these photographs, this is something that it would not affect the neighbors. We've checked with the building department as far as any prior complaints, and there are being none, and clearly there were no residents tonight. And it's something that this board likes to do is work with residents and show them that we understand the complexities of village law and, you know, how they have behaved in their configurations as far as not impacting the neighbors. So this is something that in our work session that this board was very well in favor of and did not have a problem. So I'm going to request a motion from Member Ringwald first on the secra. So would you make that resolution in the form of motion?
Read the motion.
You have to say that you're making a resolution in the form of a motion.
Making a resolution in the form of a
Motion.
motion for the secret resolution. All in favor?
No, you have to read.
Read it.
You have to read from here to.
All right, the Village of Tuckahoe Zoning Board of Appeals Area Variance Resolution is as follows. The application for an area variance requested by William McCauley and Rexy McCauley, whose address is 135 Park Avenue, Tuckahoe, New York, Section 24, Block 3, Lot 7, for relief from the following section of the zoning code, 4-1.4.2, side yard, and 4-1.4.3, rear yard. Relief requested to legalize an existing pool deck. The side yard setback that is required is 15 feet, and the existing pool deck is 8 feet from the side yard. Further, the rear yard setback is 30 feet, and the existing pool deck is 27.5 feet from the rear yard.
Okay, that's your resolution for the, that's the resolution for the variance, am I correct?
That's just the preliminary facts of what's going on, and then you have the secret resolution, so.
Should we, we vote on that area residence, or should we gonna do the secret
No,
now?
not there, just do the secret resolution first.
Okay.
And then there's another resolution after the secret resolution.
The secret resolution is, based on the application as submitted, the Zoning Board of Appeals finds and determines that, 1, the action taken herein is an unlisted action subject to the requirements of SECRA and its implementing regulations. 2, this Zoning Board of Appeals is in possession of all information reasonably necessary to make the determination as to the environmental significance of the proposed area variance application. 3, that the action taken herein shall not have a significant adverse impact on the environment, and it is declared that a negative declaration is hereby adopted with regard to this action.
Then you take your vote.
Well, that's a motion on the table. Do we have a second?
Second?
Okay, Nancy, call the roll.
Member Ringwald,
In favor?
Member Palladino,
In favor.
Member Barondez.
In favor?
Chairman Gallo.
In favor. Now, was that for both, or?
No, then there's more.
Okay.
Recommendation is for an area variance to be granted as the benefit to the application of the area variance outweighs the determinant to health, safety, and the welfare of the neighborhood. The application has demonstrated through its submissions and presentation that it has met all aspects of the 5-pronged test to the satisfaction of this board.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor for the area variance. Do we have a second?
Second?
Nancy, call the roll, please.
Member Ringwald,
In favor?
Member Palladino,
In favor.
Member Barondez.
In favor?
Chairman Gallo.
In favor. Okay, I'll sign that. Okay, thank you very much. Just want to reiterate to the residents of this village that do not be concerned or worried about coming to the building department and discussing past issues with your houses. Is something that this board understands and is willing to work with. So, Thank you for coming.
Good luck.
Thank you.
We did have the public hearing open and closed. However, in this circumstance, I am going to allow public speaking at this particular time. Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name's Anthony Laurie. I live on 123 Waller Street, Tuckahoe, all my life. What I'm concerned about is when I hear you talk, Mr. Gallo, that you have a beautiful board up there, you're working with people. Well, this abortion on 5 Circle Road is getting disgusting. We had a man deliver a 40-yard container on a Sunday morning at 8:15 when church services was just about beginning. People couldn't get up the street because this man was blocking the road with a big 40-yard container truck. He had to dispose it inside the man's yard. By that time, there was a few cars blocking him. He couldn't make the turn into the man's yard. 45 minutes went by. Church services were coming out. It was a disaster. People were coming up and down one-way streets. People were complaining that they couldn't get through Circle Road. Waller Street was a mess with all the church people coming out of church. One man came to me and he was yelling, I work nights and this guy's got to ring my doorbell to move a car for 2 little inches and all that. I said, don't come yelling to me. Go up on Underhill Street, see Mr. Gallo. He approved of this. What I can't understand is why a 40-yard container has to be delivered on a Sunday morning at 8:15. It is disgraceful over there. It is really pitiful, pitiful, pitiful. I only hope nothing like this happens to you people in your neighborhood. On a Sunday morning, I never in my life heard of a 40-yard container being delivered that time of the day. When is this going to stop? And plus, I do want to know, all that stuff that he took off, half of that house was asbestos. Now the container was delivered. Isn't that container supposed to be a closed-in container? It's an open container. When is it going to stop? When is this man, he came up here that time and he said he read all the rules and regulations and he was going to be a good neighbor. Mr. Gallo, that's not being a good neighbor delivering a container on a Sunday morning when church services are on at 8:15 in the morning on a Sunday morning, delivering a container. The guy said he came from Long Island. I don't care if he came from Chicago or California, but on a Sunday morning at that hour, delivering a container, I think that's really disgusting. And this man said he was going to be a good neighbor, and I remember when he was up here, you personally said that Mr. Laurie was concerned about his neighborhood, and we all up here on the board are concerned also. No one was concerned that Sunday morning. He disturbed half the block with trying to ringing people's doorbells, trying to figure out whose car was blocking so he could get this container in. And this is going on. It's terrible. It really is terrible. And right next to him, there's a woman in that house. She's a very sick lady. Now, when he starts again on his removal of these asbestos shingles, I hope he uses some protection. The lady's a sick lady in the house right next door. That house is almost adjacent, touching each other. I hope some safety measures are taken because he ripped off half that house before it was stopped with no protection on that house. And you told me that he was going to modify the neighborhood, make it look good. He's got walls up there 14 feet high when they were only 8 feet high. It looks like a prison over there. Just take a look. Come there on a Sunday morning next time he decides to deliver something. I told everyone that was asking me. I don't know why everybody was asking me. I know they saw I was aggravated. And I told them, go see Mr. Gallo. He lives up on Underhill Street. Sunday morning he might be sleeping, but I don't think he'll want to be disturbed like other people were. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I have been disappointed in that project, to be blunt with you. And recently, the architect who represented that fella did come to represent someone else, and I made it clear to him that I am not happy. It's not in my purview, and I have no power over it. However, I wanted to make it clear. I will, for whatever I can do, speak to the building department in the future. And I do continue to drive by the property, and I will do my best as I can do within my own power. Is there anyone that would like to say anything to this? Okay, as I said, I did allow a special speaking due to this resident who I do know a long time, and I felt strongly that he might have something to say which could help us in future decisions. So I hope everyone on the board understands, my latitude in allowing this speech. So I appreciate the board and all the members and anyone legal in building in my purview, but it, is something I felt that he might bring to the table to assist us in the future. So thank you very much. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is we have there won't be a meeting in August unless we feel the need for a special meeting, and I believe there's something that Member Barondis would like to let the public know.
This is my last meeting. I have resigned from the zoning board effective as July 31st. I will be moving out of Tuckahoe very sadly and unexpectedly, but I did want to share with you the real pleasure and honor it's been to serve on this board. It's been highly instructive, highly engaging, and very rewarding, both personally and in many ways professionally. So I want to thank the public for indulging me during my learning process here, and I look forward to watching our board in action on YouTube. So I wish everyone well, and thank you again very much for this wonderful privilege.
Thank you. Is there any members that would like to add anything?
Just like to wish Janice all the best.
Thank you.
I would like to say that this is a young board, as I've said before, and a board which is very committed, and our members are very serious people. And when Janice first came to the microphone to speak about an application, and the way she spoke and what she brought to that microphone to assist us in our decision-making, I knew then that this was a person who could severely, positively impact this board. And I did everything I could in working with the mayor and the village board to approach Janice and see if she would be willing to join our board, and she was, and she has brought a tremendous amount of knowledge. Again, I cannot stress to the public the amount of work we do in the work sessions, and Janice's perspective has been incredibly enlightening to this board and made it easier for us to see different points of view and different possibilities. And she will be sadly missed, but her impact on this board and future decisions at this board will be clearly made by what she has taught us. So I want to thank you very, very much for everything you've done.
Thank you. That's very nice.
Thank you very much, Janice. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay, great. It's been a great summer. We have our warm, humid weather has finally, come back to us. So we're not sure, if something does pop up, we might have a special meeting that we determine may be very viable to this village. If not, we'll see everyone in September. Thanks to the public for their understanding and any input that they ever want to bring. We really do appreciate it. So I will make a motion to close the zoning board meeting for Wednesday, July 8th, 2015. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. Thanks. Good night, Tuckahoe.